Hello everybody, today I'm going to be doing an unboxing and review video of the new Convoy S2 MAO edition. That stands for Micro Arc Oxidation. I actually had to read up a little bit on it to understand how it's different from just normal anodizing, but we will go through that a bit later. I was really excited to get this in the mail today, so let's open it up and I'll also talk a bit about the specs, maybe bring up the website as well so you can see the different configurations this light comes in. Alright, so let's have a look at what's included. As you can see, you get a lanyard that was in the shipping package. You've got the box here, nice and simple. I like these simple box designs that Convoy always uses. Minimalistic. Here on the side it tells you some details about the actual flashlight. So you can see here S2 Plus, and it's got a 519a Nichia 519a LED. Really good color rendering index score. And here we've got the color temperature, and I actually got mine in the 3000K, but you can get it from all different ranges, which I'll go through later. This S2 comes with a battery as well, an 18650 battery. So let's take a look at the flashlight. So very simple. You've got a bit of packaging material in there that just keeps it from being bumped around or anything like that. So we'll pull the flashlight out and put all this other stuff away on the side. Here we have the S2 out of the box, and I'll just turn it around so you can sort of see what it looks like. Immaculate finish. It's just got this snow white finish. I've never seen this type of matte white finish on a flashlight before. It just feels so smooth, and I'm not sure how to even describe it, but it's just got it almost feels like some kind of work of art, or like a plate or something like that. So have a look here at the front end of the flashlight. We've got the LED there, that Nichia 519, and I got it in the 3000K. I just wanted to try something that's a bit warmer. Normally I get flashlights, 4000 plus K. There's an orange peel reflector, perfectly centered, and I also noticed there is a glow ring underneath there, glowing O-ring. Helps you be able to find it in the dark. You've got one switch here at the back. Pretty simple sort of design. You don't have any switches on the side of the flashlight, just one on the back, kind of tactical style. Okay, and let's have a look. Let's open it up. So an O-ring on that side as well, and insulation paper, which is good. So here's the cell that's included with the light. I haven't heard of this brand before, Lito Color, but it says 35 amp draw and 3500 milliamp hour cell. So look, it's a high draw cell. I'm happy with that. So let's put it in the flashlight, switch it on. This is my first S2, so in terms of the different modes and stuff, I'll have to figure that out. Ooh, that's bright. Okay, so it's just a kind of clicky. You switch it on and then you half press the button and it changes modes. That's really bright. Okay, so you can see just how warm that color temperature is as well. And I don't know how to describe it. It just feels really nicely balanced, great quality. I've been so impressed with Convoy's offerings and how much value that they can offer at such an affordable price point. I think for any flashlight enthusiast, whether you're starting out or whether you've been collecting flashlights for a while, I think it's just so hard to find anything better at this price point. I think Convoy is a must-have brand if you're out there and looking for something that's great value and has all kinds of customizable options that you can choose from online. One of the big reasons why I wanted to try out this flashlight is for this new coating, and I did mention that at the start of the video, this Micro Arc Oxidation. I did some reading about it, and what they do essentially is that they use aluminium dioxide and coat the flashlight with it. But they use high voltage in the application. I'm not sure about all the specifics, but essentially they convert the aluminium dioxide into its crystalline form, which is known as corundum. And corundum is actually the mineral name for what we know as ruby or sapphire. So you have a significant part of the coating which is being converted into this crystalline form, which has a Mohs hardness scale of 9. So this is the Convoy flashlight store, and I'll link this in the description so you can have a look. And Simon Mao is the guy that runs this store. As you can see, lots of positive feedback and lots of followers. You can see here it comes with all the different configurations and you can choose. So for me, I selected the 3000K. I almost wanted to get a 2700K, but look, it was probably, I thought, a bit too warm for my liking. And 18650 519a, and then it just allows you to check out. So for $40, $42 Australian, I think it's just amazing. The amount of value that you get in this flashlight, nice little EDC like this with all the bells and whistles. You get the battery included as well. I think you can, if you take out the battery, no, you have to select the battery. Some of them you can exclude the battery if you want. Let's have a look here. If you select other emitter, other color temperatures, you can actually choose different emitters. So 5000K, you can go SST40. 6500K, you can go the SFT40, and it changes the price around a little bit. SST40's been a bit cheaper than the SFT40. I got the 519A for its high color rendering index. I think it's about 95 plus, so very practical little EDC to carry around you if you need to recognize colors well. For me, because I have color blindness, I find the 519A is a really good choice so that I can more so recognize colors. Find that with the 5000 plus K lights, they really just wash out the color. Everything looks really cool. 2700 is probably too warm for me, but I thought I'd try something different. Normally I stick with about a 4000-ish K, but it's really good to know that you have all these different options. You can customize it the way that you want. Here you can see the configurations it comes with. 5 amp current draw. It's got some instructions here as well for the UI, which I'll have to look at, and you can have a look here. There's a few different configurations. Reflector orange peel for 519A, smooth for SST40 and SFT40. So that's interesting. I'm thinking with the smooth reflector, it should throw a lot further. So I'm tempted to get another one actually with the SFT40 included, and good to have that battery included too. Now it doesn't have an ability to charge it by USB, so you're gonna have to get your own external charger. Shouldn't be a problem. They're pretty cheap these days, especially 18650 cell chargers. You can get them online. Let's have a look here. Height 118 millimeters, 24 millimeters, 76 grams. So there you go. That's those are the general specs, and I'll share this website down in the video description below. So check it out if you do want to take a closer look. So what I want to do is just get a few other flashlights that I have in my collection, place them all side by side, just so that you can see the general comparison between them. I do have other 18650 lights as well. So this is the Sofern SC31 Pro, very, very similar in size. It does have more kind of bulges and stuff around the edges. And let's have a look at this one here. This is the Workhorse FC12, and it's longer, but again, the actual diameter of the battery tubes and the heads are quite similar. Then you start getting over to these 21700 lights over here, and they're significantly chunkier. As you can see, they just add a little bit more heft around the body. So this is the only other 519A flashlight that I have here. This is the Ray Light Pineapple Mini. So you can see all together, it's definitely one of the smaller lights, and it's going to be very easy to carry this around in your pocket compared to something like the IF22A. The SP35 is still, still on the smaller end, so you're not going to have any issues there. But certainly with these 18650 lights, I really like how simple and easy they are in terms of the UI. But in terms of these 18650 lights, they really make a difference when you're just wanting to go out of the house for a little bit. You want to grab something that you can chuck in your pocket and just forget about. These are perfect. These ones I find, they do have that extra battery life, maybe a bit of extra brightness, but you do feel them a lot more in your pocket. It's great to see Convoy take the lead on this new type of coating. Technology used in the coating is a game changer in terms of applying additional strength and durability to any kind of flashlight body. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to do some tests on my light meter and also do some beam shots. So hang around, make sure you hang around to the end of the video as well. I'll give you my final thoughts.
S2 Plus. S2 Plus. S2 Plus. Got the S2 Plus. Okay. Low. And just slowly ramping up. Okay. That is the highest mode. And as you can see, it does have a nice warm tint to everything. It does hit those trees in the back, but more so just tint them. A lot of spill.
Welcome back to the video. I want to finish this one off by talking about my observations, things that I've noticed over using this flashlight for over a week now, and just a few other topics as well that I missed out initially in the beginning of the video, mainly because it was just an unboxing, but things like comparisons and actual performance figures as well. So overall, I think Convoy offer the best quality to price ratio, and it's especially true for some of their smaller lights like this one, or even their medium-sized throwers like the L21B. I'm really impressed with the finish, this micro arc oxidation. It's just so smooth. It's just flawless and has a really unique look to it. One of the things I've also noticed is that it has a decent amount of grip. And it's hard to describe the actual feel of this kind of coating, but the closest thing that comes to it is ceramic or stone, maybe like marble, something like that. Quite unique compared to just your normal anodization. It does have this sort of strange chalky feel to it. So with Convoy flashlights, very easy to open and modify them. So essentially you can unscrew the head like that, the tail cap as well, get into the LED and replace it with other ones later on if a newer sort of LED comes out, or if you just want to do a mod. Very easy to actually get into the light, and I think that's a big thing, especially if you're looking at this as more of a hobby, something that you like tinkering around with as well. So there's no thread lock or anything on there. In terms of the LED, this is one of my favorite LEDs out there on the market. It's the Nichia 519a. The S2 comes in a whole different options that you can choose from. So you can actually get an SST40. I think you can get an SFT40 in the S2 Plus as well. But this one here, the 519 edition I have, just comes in so many different tints and also has a really good color rendering index. So that's why I ended up getting this one, 3000K, and I measured it at over 95 CRI. It has a AR lens, glass lens as well, covering the reflector and the LED. You can see that orange peel reflector. It just makes the beam a lot more smoother, and nicely centered LED as well right at the base. So this flashlight is 11.7 centimeters in length, and the diameter from all the way down, pretty much from the top to bottom of the flashlight, is 2.4 centimeters. So very easy to fit in your pocket. I'm curious to see as well, maybe getting a smooth reflector version and getting in something that throws a bit further, seeing how far this can throw. But certainly for this LED, it's quite impressive considering the size of it, and the driver performance was impressive too. So here's a little comparison of my S2 Plus compared to a few other 18650 cell lights. Got the Sofan SC31 Pro here on the right, roughly about the same size. I do prefer the profile of it though. It just seems a lot more nice, just seems a lot more simpler. It doesn't come with a clip though. You need to order one of those separately, and there's no sort of anti-roll feature. Again, it's just a design of it, and again, that's just part of the design. Here you can see a few others which have kind of like a tactical feature, a tactical button on the back, which increases the length of the flashlight, these three lights here. So certainly one of the smallest ones, and very easy to fit in your pocket as well, especially if you got a clip. If you want to get a clip, you need to buy them from Convoy, and they're basically just a thinner sort of clip. These ones will not be able to fit onto here unless, I don't know, unless you really forced it on there, but it's not going to look so good. So in terms of the user interface and operation, there's only one button here on the back that you're able to access. You switch it on, and here I've got it set from 5 modes. So basically it starts off on 0.1, and then you basically just click through and it goes all the way up to the highest, which is mode 5, and then just goes straight back down to the bottom as well. So what you need to do when you first get this flashlight, you got to look at the instructions, and I'll post the link down in the description so you can have a look. But you turn the light on and then you tap that button 20 times. That's where you access the group selection mode, and there you can choose a whole bunch of modes. So I've just chosen one basically that has 5 different modes from low to the highest mode. Some people prefer having 3, so low, medium, high. Some people prefer to have the battery check mode in there as well, which actually flashes out the battery voltage. There's a bike mode on here that you can configure with the other modes. So there's just a set 12 that are included. I think you can also get a version of the S2 Plus with only 4 of those modes available in there. I'd recommend getting the 12 mode one, especially if you think you might use some of the bike functions and things like that. Just give you a bit more option to select from what's in there. You can also turn on and off memory mode, which is very useful. I've got it off, so it just goes straight into the moonlight mode, 0.1%. I find that very useful, especially when I'm using it at night. I don't want it to go onto high or anything like that. Again, in order to change modes, once you have that flashlight on, you just tap that button halfway in order to switch. So now it's off, switch it on again. In terms of batteries, the Convoy S2 will accept your usual flat top unprotected cells, or it can accept the button tops as well, completely fine. However, one thing to keep in mind is that there is no USB onboard USB charging, so you're going to need to get an external charger, external 18650 charger. Pretty easy to get and quite cheap as well out there in the market. Probably best to have one anyway as a backup. Ran some performance tests on the flashlight using my Opal Light Master Pro. On the highest mode, I found that it had 162 meters of throw. Pretty impressive for a little flashlight like this. I also measured the color temperature on 3 different modes, so 10%, 35%, and 100%, and very consistent with the Nichia 519 LED, 2900 plus K on each of those modes, and the color rendering index was 96 to 97 on all modes. Very impressive LED, and especially if you need to use a light like this to identify colors, it could be a something that's required for your work, I'd really recommend this LED. In terms of the strengths of this flashlight, first thing I'm going to jump to right away is the value. Convoy provides the best value at this price point, in my opinion. I mean, you give up that onboard USB charging, but it's worth it for the excellent build quality and performance of this flashlight. There's a lot of choices as well. So if you're someone that likes to customize your lights, whether you want a different color, but more importantly, in my opinion, things like the driver or the particular LED, the tints that you want, you can get all different combinations and colors when you buy the S2 from the Convoy store. So I think that's something quite unique to Convoy. You don't see that many options with any other manufacturer. There's even a 21700 cell version of this flashlight if you need the extra juice. It adds a little bit more thickness onto the barrel, but it's almost negligible difference. So that's something to keep in mind as well. I find a lot of manufacturers offer maybe 2 color tints at most. I really like the 3000K. It's my first 3000K flashlight. And one thing I've read is on foggy nights, it's quite easy on the eyes. And I've read that it works well to cut through the fog. And it's also quite easy on the eyes. So I find myself using this one as a night light right next to my bed, and I have it on the lowest mode. Just makes it a lot easier to use in the middle of the night. One thing to keep in mind is that the color of this flashlight, the kind of white finish, does mark easily if you have it knocking around with other objects. So, you know, if you've got it in your bag and you've got, I don't know, containers and your keys and other bits and pieces, especially metals, you're going to mark out that surface. But I have found that just using a bit of alcohol wipe on it does eliminate most of those marks on there. Another nitty-picky thing is I would have liked to see a clip included with this flashlight. It just makes it easier when you're carrying around an EDC flashlight like this and storing it in your pocket. However, you can buy them very easily from the Convoy store, I think for $1 to $2. And I like that it also is a slimmer sort of ring as well, so I'll get one of those later on. So overall, this is one of the best EDC lights for beginners and enthusiasts, people who like to tinker around, modify their flashlights, or just have more options in terms of the color tint and battery configurations and things of this particular host. The low price point and excellent build quality make it stick out as well. I really like how all the technical specifications are made clear and you know exactly what you're getting. So highly recommended. If you'd like to learn more about this flashlight or would like to purchase one, I put the link to Simon's store, the Convoy store, in the video description. You can check it out there. And if you have any questions and just general comments, let me know down below in the video. If you enjoyed the video, you found it helpful, do me a favor and click the like button so that I can get this video out to more people. And if you want to see me make some more reviews, make sure you click the subscribe button.